We hope you're having a nice day.
Hi everyone, it's the Sew Over It team vlog time again. This time we're back because, of course, it's Galentine's Day and we've all been doing a bit of sewing. We wanted to show off some makes that represent our personal style, and that also gave us an excuse to sit down and sew together and have some good fun as a team. So I hope you like what we've made. So first up we've got Becca.
Hello.
And Becca's made the Anna coat.
I have.
Why did you choose the Anna?
I think when the ebook, so it's from our work to weekend ebook, and when it first came out, I think it was the pattern that I liked the most, and all my winter coats are a little bit, could do with a refresh. So I thought like I had a gap in my wardrobe for a black wool winter coat, and I thought the Anna would be a good fit.
And did you make any changes to the pattern, or is this straight out the box?
I made a few changes. So firstly, I lined the coat. Little sneak peek of the lining there. I also took a little bit off the edge of the collar and the lapels, just literally like off the very edge of the pattern piece, just because I felt that because I'm not very tall, so the pieces look bigger on me, and also I felt for like a wool winter coat, it looks a bit better smaller, so I took a little bit off there. I added welt pockets.
Nice.
Which was a little bit of a drama. And yeah, I think that's mostly it.
Yeah. Where did you get the welt pockets from? Because they're not on the original pattern.
No. So the welt pockets themselves were very easy to do, I will say that. I stole them from the cocoon coat pattern. So yeah, just downloaded those. The problem was when I added them, I didn't really think through where I was going to place them, and when I originally put the coat on, they were like down here. So another little change I made was to add a little centre seam, which was a bit radical, but I felt otherwise I wouldn't wear it as much because I'd be worried about, the pockets are low and they look really silly. So the belt covers it as well. So I took a wedge out all the way around, and I added another belt loop in at the centre back, just to make sure the belt always stays over the seam.
Yeah, I think it goes to show that if something doesn't go quite right in a project, you can usually kind of work on it as you go.
Yeah, I think sewing is a lot of problem solving, and there was a lot of problem solving.
And can you give us another sneak peek of your lining?
Yeah, sure.
Because the Anna coat doesn't come with lining.
So it doesn't come with a lining. So I drafted the lining for it, and I've got this lovely. So this wool is from the shop, and the lining actually is some Liberty silk that I got off Goldhawk Road. So to draft the lining, I used a combination of methods. So Lisa's got a good video on how she lined her Anna coat. So I watched that. Shout out to Grainline Studios because they've got a good blog post on how to add a lining to a coat. So I had a read of that. And I've also got a coat pattern with a lining which had a vent in it. So I had a look at that to see how they'd done the lining and how they'd lined the vent. And sort of worked it out from there.
Yeah. So you made some kind of on-the-fly changes when you sewed up the coat, but did you make any changes to the fit before you actually sort of cut it out and sewed it up?
Yeah, so I went to Julie's masterclass, one of our classes, with the legend that is Julie, and I made up a toile and she helped me adjust the fit of that. Again, because I'm quite short, I always have to take a lot of length out, so we did a lot of that. And yeah, that was very helpful to have someone like pin the back for you and see like where the line should go.
Oh, are you going to make another Anna coat? That's a big question.
I would quite like to make a spring version. So we've got some good fabrics in that I think would be really nice. When I started making it, Rosie tried to convince me to go for this, which I really like. It's a wonderful needle cord called Rose Pavilion, and it's got a really nice drape to it. So thinking about that for a spring one, but I really wanted a winter one to start with. So that's really nice. And then we've got these two gabardines, is that how you say it? Yeah. Gabardines in latte and navy, which are very similar to the samples that Lisa had made up. So yeah, they're suitings. They're called Mr. Gadget. And we've also got a really nice, I almost went for this one as well, light blue wool, which would be fantastic as an Anna coat.
And have you got any tips for when you made yours in wool?
Yeah, so working with wool, there's a few things that I found really helpful. this is my favourite tool. This is this is a clapper on the bottom. So a clapper helps you to get your seams really nice and crisp when you press them. So you put your iron on with a bit of steam, and then you put the clapper on, so you don't overpress your seams. Clapper, top tip. Use a pressing cloth over the wool, so don't press, especially with it being black. I found that if I pressed directly onto it, it went a bit shiny.
Yeah.
And final tip. Sometimes with wool, when you get to a corner, you can get like a little, like a little bubble on the corner.
Yeah.
So to stop that, I made the seam allowance bigger as I got to the corner, and that made the bubble go away.
Oh, magic tip. I've not heard that before.
Yeah.
That's great.
Give it a go.
And as this vlog is all about the team's personal style and what we wear, how does Anna fit in with your style?
I think I tend to wear like classic pieces. I'm not too wild with my wardrobe, so I think a black simple Mac, well, not quite a Mac, but yeah, fits into that pretty well.
Perfect. And can I just point out your dress underneath, which I think might be one of ours?
Yeah, it's a cowl neck dress in a nice, it's very old grey.
No,
Yes.
and it works perfectly with that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so next up we've got Alexandra, who hasn't been in one of our vlogs before.
No.
Welcome. You've probably seen Alexandra in our shop, and she's also works at the shows that we do, such as like the Knit and Stitch. So you will see it at the Olympia show in a few weeks' time. So Alex, what have you made?
I have made some ultimate culottes in corduroy, which I'm really happy with. Yeah.
They're great. And was there any changes to the pattern?
Yeah, so I added some pockets, which I'm quite an amateur sewer. I studied knitwear, so sewing, I thought I'd choose something that like is not a fitted trouser. So I'd never done trousers before, so I thought something that isn't too fitted.
Yeah.
Work out how to do a trouser pattern, and then I thought add some pockets. So I moved the zip to the back, which was where it was originally.
So then it's not going to get in the way of your pockets.
And then measured where I wanted the pockets, and Lydia drew around my hand and helped me make a pocket pattern, and just stuck them in. It was actually much easier, and I'm really happy I did it because I can carry my phone around, and it's much more sort of practical.
Yeah, definitely. And quite often culottes are made in something a little drapier.
Yes.
But I think the corduroy works really well for them, giving them that structure.
Well, when I first started here, I made a pair of culottes in quite heavy tartan wool. And it's because it was just what I had in my stash at home, and I thought I quite like this fabric, want to do something with it, the pattern fits, so I made it, and I was actually really happy with how they hung for me and my personal style. So I quite liked the fact that they kept their shape and didn't drape too much.
Yeah.
But I think if I did like a summer pair, maybe I'd like something in it that
something
drape.
a bit of a swishy. Can I just point out that you also made your top?
I did, yes.
So again, was this on a knitting machine?
It was on a knitting machine, yes.
How long does that take?
This only took me about 4 hours with sort of steaming it and sewing it up together at the sides. So it wasn't too bad. Just a lot of like straps with a bit of elastic in it.
And the big question, obviously, how do the culottes fit in with your personal style?
So I don't know if I have a real style. I think I probably choose to wear things that match either my coat or my shoes because they're like the most expensive bits of the outfit. So I think these really match my shoes, which are like and my coat's kind of semi-smart and semi-grungy, so I can like smarten it up if I have some heeled boots on, or make it a little bit grungier with this. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's great. They're comfy and practical with the pockets, but also they look really nice.
Thanks.
So it's a win-win. Okay. And what's your next make?
So my next make is a molly top in this, which I'm really excited about because although I'm a knitter, I've never really worked with jersey, so I'm excited to just test that out. And I've just bought myself some like dungarees, so I thought molly top would be a really great thing to go underneath it.
So next up we've got Nicole. And Nicole, what have you made?
I have made the crepe blouse. I've actually made it sleeveless and just kind of bound the armhole with some self-bias binding. And I borrowed the armhole from the vintage shirt dress because that comes with a sleeveless option, and the crepe blouse doesn't actually have a sleeveless option, but I'd seen some nice ones popping up on Instagram. So I was like, I'm going to make one of those myself. And yeah, the armhole kind of comes a bit further in. I'll just take this off actually. It comes a little bit further in on the back, which I quite like. And I never really wear long sleeves, just because I normally wear a cardigan over the top and it just gets in the way. And I'm either always pulling my sleeves down or rolling them up, so it's just better to eliminate the issue.
So if you were just to take the sleeves off the pussy bow blouse, would the armhole be too large, really?
It just kind of sits a bit too far over, so I think I only actually took about 1.5 centimetres off, and I probably could have taken a little bit more off the front curve here, and the back curve's fine. But yeah, I just felt it was going to sit too kind of far over. I mean, you could, if you're slightly more broad-shouldered, you probably don't need to do anything. But yeah, you could just take a bigger seam out and sew the binding on as well.
So why did you choose this fabric?
So I felt this fabric was something I would wear quite a lot. It's like a kind of muted colour which I normally go for, and a small floral as well, and I generally only really wear florals. And it's like a really lightweight crepe. It's got kind of like a small texture to it, which I really like.
And have you got any tips for working with
fabric? So this fabric, I'm going to just be able to show you on here, has a lot of stretch in it. I'm not sure if it actually does have an elastane content, but across the bias it stretches quite a lot. So I used a walking foot for the entire thing, especially on the armholes, just because I felt those were going to stretch out of place when I sewed them. And I also actually understitched my binding, which is something I don't normally do, but I did find it much easier for this because when I flipped it in, it kind of just sat in place straight away, and so that was really helpful.
Are there any other fabrics you'd recommend?
Yep, so I actually think I'm going to make like 3 more of these probably, and I have some of this crepe in my stash at home, which is a really lovely pink, and again a floral. So thinking about using that, and then there's this really nice rayon as well with a small kind of ditzy flower, but I'm not sure I'll be using this because I will be in all brown. So yeah, maybe that one too.
And so how does this fit in with your overall personal style?
So generally I only ever wear separates. I'm not a dress wearer at all. So I tend to make a lot of blouses, and then every so often I will make a pair of trousers as well. So yeah, I tend to opt for blouses, so I think it will be something I wear quite a lot.
Great. Okay, now we have Lydia, and Lydia's made a Betty for her personal style. So why did you choose the Betty?
I think as an example of personal style, it had to be a Betty because I already have 7 of them. I think they're just a really simple shape, and they're really easy to hack with other patterns or mix and match sleeve lengths or necklines or hem lengths.
So is that original? No. Add-on Betty
pack with a slightly different neckline to match the slightly different darts that we've done here. So I went to Julie's masterclass with an image that I found on YouTube. There's a really great YouTuber called Angela Clayton. She does a lot of historical reproductions, and she had this great blue spotty dress with these wide darts, and I was really interested in them. So I took them to Julie, and we just shifted things around to make them.
Amazing. How on earth did you shift things around?
This is what the end result is in terms of the pattern. So we took the waist darts and the bust darts and essentially just shifted them around the bust point, the highest point.
So then it's cut on the fold here.
Yes. So it ends up looking a bit strange when you cut it out.
And you end up with a seam. This will be your centre seam here.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that bit matches up there, and then all of this gets tucked in to this section here.
Yeah, and it's nice because you don't end up with a seam all the way down, so you've just got the detail there.
Yes.
And is there anything else you changed on the dress?
We did lengthen the bodice slightly instead of doing a full bust adjustment because it's slightly more difficult when you shifted the darts around, and I added pockets because pockets. You've always got to have a pocket. And I like nice big deep pockets as well.
So why did you choose this particular fabric?
It's my first time working with crepe, especially on such a big thing, and I wanted to test my sewing skills that way.
Great.
And I do like, I've come to like nice big prints after the Spoonflower vlog when I chose a white dress with a red pattern on it. That started a bit of a trend. So when I saw this on the shelves, I knew I had to have it for this.
Yeah, Betty's perfect for showing off such a big print, I think,
Yes.
with the swishy skirt. It's great.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried that the flowers would get lost in this dart section, but I don't think it's really impacted it.
No, not at all. And it's also nice sometimes when a pattern gets broken up, because it can see what you've actually done with the darts when you've moved things around. And are you going to make another one?
I think I've got several in the mind, yes.
Right.
There's this on the shelves. 'Cause this one's lined as well with white cotton, which I think I'd have to do with this one as well. I think this would make an even nicer, slightly more casual summer version.
Yeah, it would be great in summer. That's beautiful. And what's your next make?
So my next make is to finish off the Chloe coat, which was another class that I've taken. I made it in a red stretch cotton. I think it goes quite nicely with the dress. I still need to finish off the hems and whatnot. And I kind of want to add the epaulets from the Anna coat and sort of make it look a bit more military.
Yeah, that's really nice. And you're so close to finishing as well.
So close to finishing. We've got slightly bigger pockets in the pattern as well, just to fit all the stuff.
So, yeah, it looks great.
Thank you very much.
So Alex, what have you made?
I've made a hack of the Sarah dungarees and the Ava skirt into a pinafore.
Awesome. What made you think of that?
Well, as soon as we released the Sarah, I thought it would be so easy to pop a skirt onto the bib for a nice pinafore. And a few of our customers mentioned it, so I thought I'd see how easy it was and show you all.
Excellent. And was it easy to put together?
It was really easy. Yeah, I used a combination of the Sarah instructions, just for adding the bib and the waistband, and yeah, everything else pretty straightforward.
Great. And the bib fitted onto the waistband quite easily, did you say?
It does, yeah. I actually made some changes because I'm quite short in the body, so when I attached it, it was a little bit long, so I took it off, took out about an inch, but yeah, it matches up at the side seams with that, pretty perfectly.
And also, if you give us a little twirl, there's another change you did.
I'll show you. Yeah, I crossed the straps at the back. I found that on me they were long enough to cross over on the actual dungarees. And then if you can see, they're straight. But yeah, I thought for a kind of corduroy pinafore, I thought they'd look kind of more in keeping with cross straps. Yeah.
And I love this corduroy. Why did you choose this one?
Well, I love burnt orange and like autumn colours, and we actually bought this on a fabric buying trip, and I had this in mind when we chose it. It's like a lovely like needle cord, perfect for basically perfect for pinafores and little skirts. So yeah, it's kind of my mind was made up. We also have it in mustard as well.
And how does your Sarah Ava pinafore fit into your personal style?
So I'd say this is definitely a winter outfit for me. In winter I wear a lot of like long sleeved jersey tops, and yeah, it's the perfect thing to go over that. The colour fits into my wardrobe. I wear a lot of like maybe burnt orange, dark green, burgundy, navy, as you can tell from my top. And yeah, I think it fits in really well with everything else I've got.
That's right. So when you're putting the two together, the Ava and the Sarah, because the Ava's a one-piece waistband that you fold over.
Yeah.
How did you change that up so they would work together?
So I cut two of the waistband, and then I had to I folded it over in half and then added on some seam allowance to get the same width waistband, but so that it's in two pieces basically, because then that allows you to sandwich the bib in between the waistband pieces when you attach it for a nice, like, neat finish on the inside.
And you've also moved the zip round to the side, have you? Because if it's the Ava zip usually at the back.
Yeah, the Ava's usually at the back, and so I moved it to the side because I thought it made sense. It kind of like,
follows the style line a bit more coming down the side.
It looks like it should be there, and on the dungarees it's at the side. So I thought I'd keep that. I wasn't going to put the pockets in. If I had to put the pockets in, probably would make more sense to keep it at the back. But yeah, I just put it in at the side. And also the straps, there's no buttonholes there. I can get this on and off without needing to unbutton the straps. So you're looking for a quick win, and you don't like buttonholes, yeah, you don't have to worry. So Rosie, what have you made?
So I've made the cake dress from our work to weekend ebook. I've changed it slightly. So instead of having the gored skirt like the original, I've popped a little very simple gathered skirt on it. So to do that, I did shorten the bodice a little bit, put on the waistband from the cape skirt, but then just added a simple gathered skirt instead. And of course, had to pop in pockets.
So you've gone for like a really bold, like cool print. Was it the fabric that you saw first, or did you have the pattern already in mind?
I think honestly it was the fabric that I saw first, because I do quite a lot of the fabric buying. This was one of the ones that popped up in a meeting with the fabric agent that I knew that we had to have, and then therefore I could have. But when it came in and I kind of felt the weight on a bigger scale, it's a lovely drapey viscose. I thought it would work perfectly for a nice little shirt dress. So then, yeah, cake popped into my head just with a few changes.
Yeah. And would you make another one?
Yeah, I think I definitely will, because I think it works well in winter with tights, but also I can see myself wearing these throughout the summer as well. Really nice summery dress. One of the fabrics I'm thinking of is this viscose twill, because I like a floral, but this isn't overly feminine. I think it's quite an interesting floral, and I've worked with this viscose twill before, and it's a really nice weight and actually really nice to wear in the summer. It's very breathable.
And after making this version, are there any changes that you'd make to the pattern?
Yeah, I think only slight. I might tweak it, because on this one I chose my size and then did a full bust adjustment, but I've actually ended up, I think the shoulders are a tiny bit too wide, so I'd possibly go a size down and then do a bigger full bust adjustment just so the shoulders sit a little bit more where they're supposed to. But I think it's absolutely fine for this make. It's not going to make me not wear it.
And how do you think this fits into your personal style?
I think it fits really, really well. I've been making a lot of different patterns recently, and you might have seen I made the Persephone pants, which are quite wide-legged trousers, and I really liked making them and I enjoyed the process, but I think realistically they're not what I would wear day to day, and actually making a nice fitted shirt dress just reminded me that this is what I wear every day and this is what suits me. And I've worn it with a little Astoria, the Colette Astoria jumper, and it just looks like it's been in my wardrobe forever. So yeah, it fits very well.
It does.
So I really like Alex's style because she's always got sort of molly top style things on, and her dungarees that she's got today. So yeah, I've got lots of dungarees on the way and lots of molly tops in the making. So
I really like Rosie's knit because I think it fits really well with her personal style. So when I came in this morning I was like, such a Rosie dress, and I can see it going with like everything she makes as well. I think it's a really good fit.
I've always really liked Nicole's style. Like before I even worked here, I really liked what I saw on the vlogs because it's really nice to see vintage inspired stuff that's not brightly coloured, so it fits into more everyday wardrobes.
So I love Lydia's Betty dress that she wore today. She actually wore a Betty dress, I think, with Eve sleeves when she came for her interview with us, which may have swayed us a little bit. But I really like the way that she always rocks a nice fitted dress, and quite often with little jumpers or little cardies, so it's quite similar to my style. I think that she always goes like all guns blazing with her sewing, which I love.
So I really admire Alex's style, or Alexandra, new Alex. I like that what she wears is quite like different to what you would see as like classic sew over it. So for instance, her culottes are like a completely different take on what like Lisa's culottes look like, for example, and she really takes something and makes it her own. I kind of like that sort of edgy, grungy style that she has going on. Yeah, and it's sort of like often things that I would never think, oh gosh, I couldn't wear that, but she just like really pulls it off and makes that style work.
Someone whose make I really love from today is Becca and her black anacoat. Her style is so classic. She picks really like lovely silhouettes for her figure, and I think it's just such a classic. You know, you can't go wrong with a classic black coat. Not only that, I just think she puts so much effort into all her sewing projects, which I really admire. She never scrimps on her sewing. I have been known to do that a few times, but yeah, she put everything into it, which I really admire. Lindsay, would you make another?
Oh, Alex, your face is just white.
Yeah. I'm just like a Lego head.
Yeah.